Joining us now is one of New York's best-known defense attorneys, Gilad Shargel, who's represented mobsters John Gotti, and Sammy the Bull Gravano joins us this morning. Good to see you, Mr. Shargel. How are you?
Nice to see you.
We just heard in David's piece here that the judge is postponing the decision on appointing a request for a public defender. Is it going to be difficult for Bulger to get someone to represent him?
I don't think it's going to be difficult. I think that the judge is proceeding very carefully here. But the bottom line is this: a defendant who claims that he's unable to afford a lawyer is given an opportunity to fill out a financial statement, swear to its contents, and unless the judge has specific evidence to the contrary, he'll appoint a lawyer.
All right, let's talk about the feds dropping the earlier indictment. That was the original reason that Bulger fled to begin with, and now they just want to basically get him on the murder charges. Why was this done? And is this a better ploy? Because from what I've read, the extortion charges, he could have actually, they had a better case with those charges more so than the murder charges.
Well, I don't know that it's a question of a better case. I know that the lawyers, was reported this morning that the lawyers thought that the government was forum shopping. So that leads me to believe that there must be two different judges, one assigned to the RICO case and one assigned to the murder cases. So it may well be that that's an issue in the case, and the government's trying to control which judge it goes to.
Yeah, you've had to defend people of notoriety before. What would your defense for Bulger be at this point?
Too early to tell. I mean, what a defense lawyer is doing now is gathering all the facts, trying to ferret out the weaknesses in the government's case, and see where the opportunities lie.
Yeah, and he's 81 years old. Is there the possibility that they may find out that he's got still enough information or enough contacts that he could work out some type of deal?
I think given the history, it's highly unlikely. I think the history of corruption with the FBI would not make him a very attractive source or witness for the government. I think this case is destined for trial.
Yeah. What about the girlfriend? Now, we heard from David's report there too. They're going to try to put off her, seeing a judge for the next month or so. But what's her defense? And is there a defense here for her?
Well, there may be a defense. I heard reports that she might mount a coercion defense. That's somewhat difficult, because a coercion defense requires that the person allegedly coerced go to the police at the earliest opportunity to resolve the problem. But she has far more flexibility. I mean, Whitey Bulger is 81 years old, so the proposition or the possibility of a plea bargain is unlikely, because any sentence is virtually a death sentence.
Could she ever play that defense, though, that I didn't know that he was a mobster, or is that a little bit far-fetched?
I don't know if that passes the giggle test.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because she did lead a pretty good life, so it wasn't as though she was being held against her will from all the reports.
That's probably right, but she has a lot more flexibility because of her age.
And what about his age? Let's go back there. He's 81 years old. There's reports that his health may not be stellar at this point, but he is 81. So does that play into the way the judge would sentence or would perceive this case?
In a white-collar case, perhaps it would be part of the calculus. In a case like this, where there's charge of 19 murders, each one carries a mandatory life sentence, I think that'd be pretty tough.
And as far as, I know the feds found 2 cell phones and they're analyzing to determine what type of help he's received along the way. Is this going to be one of those things where we're going to see basically a number of other people that have probably aided and abetted him over the years probably come into play, that this could go on for quite some time?
It could, but the cell phone information may be relevant. It may lead to the prosecution of other people. But in order to commit the crime of harboring a fugitive, you have to actually take affirmative action to aid the fugitive. And just merely talking to the fugitive does not violate the law.
Okay. Mr. Shargel, thank you very much. Good to see you this morning.
Very welcome. Nice to see you.